While the world's eyes are fixed on the growing shadow war between Israel and Iran, a quieter and potentially more transformative shift is brewing inside the Islamic Republic. One that doesn't end with regime collapse or democratic revolution, but rather with the rise of a new regime that's even more radical, more militarized, and more hostile to the West. This scenario hinges on IRGC, or the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Iran's elite military force that answers not to the people or even the state, but to the ideology it was founded to protect. For over 3 decades, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei has ruled with the Guard at his side, loyal enforcers, bodyguards of the revolution, and power brokers behind the curtain. But with Israel's recent strikes eliminating key commanders and unrest rising at home, whispers of a leadership transition are growing louder. Should Khamenei fall, whether by assassination, natural causes, or internal maneuvering, the Guard is uniquely positioned to seize control. Not through a dramatic coup, but through the quiet mechanics of institutional dominance. Formed after the 1979 revolution to defend the Islamic order, the IRGC has grown far beyond its original role. Today, it boasts its own army, navy, air force, intelligence apparatus, and foreign expeditionary wing, the Quds Force. It answers directly to the Supreme Leader, not Iran's elected government. But what sets the Guard apart isn't just its firepower, it's the empire behind the guns. The IRGC controls vast swaths of Iran's economy, from oil and gas to construction, telecoms, and agriculture. Its commercial arms fund its operations, and by loyalty. Millions of Iranians depend on its networks for jobs, supplies, and social mobility. Think less like a Ministry of Defense and more like a military conglomerate with its own ideology. If this sounds familiar, it should. The IRGC's structural role bears resemblance to other military states with loyalty to ideology, not the Constitution. A state within a state, armed, organized. Internally, the Guard maintains control through its auxiliary force, the Basij, a volunteer militia that operates like a grassroots political machine. From youth programs and sports clubs to street patrols and ideological training, the Basij isn't just security, it's social engineering. As one expert put it, at the lower levels, it looks like a civic club, but by high school, it's a recruiting ground for surveillance and enforcement. In any future upheaval, the Basij would become the IRGC's front line of internal control, not tanks, but uniforms in neighborhoods, keeping the regime intact from the inside out. Western analysts often equate regime change with democratization, but history, especially in the Middle East, cautions otherwise. Remove a supreme leader, and you may not get a republic. You may get the men with guns and missiles taking full command. There are already voices within the IRGC calling for a more aggressive posture, including openly suggesting the weaponization of Iran's nuclear program. If such elements gain control, Iran could emerge not weakened, but emboldened. And unlike the clerics, these commanders have no illusions of dialogue with the West. What's coming in Iran may not be the fall of a regime, but its evolution into something even more dangerous, a revolutionary government without the revolutionaries. A military theocratic machine with no pretense of moderation. One that remembers the Iraq War, sees Israel as the permanent enemy, and views the United States as an obstacle to be outlasted or outmaneuvered. For those cheering the pressure on Iran, beware. The Guard doesn't scare easily. If anything, it thrives in crisis. The most dangerous regimes aren't always born. Sometimes, they survive their founders and rise stronger.